did you start your journey in the world of martial arts?
I started when I was probably about 9 or 10 old. My father military unarmed combat because he was a soldier in World War II. So that's where I started my first martial arts training.
How did you start with the Jeet Kune Do training?
Started with Jeet Kune Do roughly about 1974, a year after Bruce Lee died.
On your website you wrote, "I will do my best to teach Jeet Kune Do the way Bruce Lee wanted it." Why are you so confident in the accuracy of the technique?
Well, if people really just teach what they want to teach, it's not really Jeet Kune Do, because Jeet Kune Do is governed with a set of principles and it's got a philosophy. So anything you want to do really technically isn't Jeet Kune Do. People can throw things together, but I think it's incorrect to call it Jeet Kune Do.
How you could describe the philosophy of Jeet Kune Do? How would your imagine about this?
Simplicity, directness, and being non-classical. That's Bruce Lee's own definition of Jeet Kune Do. So you're striving to find the simple expressions to the closest target in the most direct manner. So you don't go here, there, and everywhere. You go like that. So it's based on elements of fencing, boxing, and Wing Chun. Later on, the Wing Chun was phased out, and it was boxing, fencing. The boxing is used at close quarter. The fencing is used at long distance. So it's very, very efficient martial art. Very efficient, very simple, very efficient, but very, very difficult to be good at.
How closely do you think fencing is related to Jeet Kune Do?
Yes, yes. The lead punch and the lead punch in Jeet Kune Do is really just like a thrust in fencing. That's very, very similar. In fact, one of the ways that I teach my students is to imagine they have a sword in their hand and thrust like a sword. This gives them far better movement and body mechanics because it's not a jab like in boxing. See, it's not like a jab, it's like a thrust of fencing.
You also write on your website, "I will never use the belt grading system because I believe it's incompatible with the way Bruce Lee taught to Jeet Kune Do." Why do you think so?
What did you say? Sorry.
On your website, you are right. "I will never use the belt graduating system."
Oh, right,
Yeah.
okay.
Why do you think so?
Well, Bruce had a type of grading system, but it was more like a rank testing system, but it wasn't a belt system. And the students were tested on various things like speed, power, coordination, sensitivity, awareness, hand and foot coordination. So we're based on all these attributes. The rank tests were based on attributes, not like doing forms or katas. So every student probably performed things in a slightly different way based on their character, personality, and their own neural system. So it's more of a personal way of testing or evaluating people rather than a classical way where everybody must be the exact same or everybody has to be the exact same. With Jeet Kune Do, it's slightly different.
As I know, Jeet Kune Do hasn't some form or style. Yeah, but so many different martial arts, trainer coaches try to make some style or some form. What do you think about this?
What, and call it Jeet Kune Do?
Yeah.
No, it's incorrect.
Mm-hmm.
Totally incorrect.
And also they try to mix some different martial arts like MMA or not different.
No, it's not Jeet Kune Do.
Mm-hmm.
No, the most advanced version of Jeet Kune Do is hardly anything. It's reduced to hardly a few tools. As of yet, to this day, I've never saw anybody that it was at the highest level of the expression of Jeet Kune Do where offense and defense look the same. And it's absolute simplicity. I've never saw anybody like that, because the majority of people who practice Jeet Kune Do are mixed up. They think it should be a part of Wing Chun, a part of MMA, a part of Thai boxing, a part of wrestling, a part of Wing Chun, which this is completely incorrect. You don't go from style to style. You go from distance to target, or target to distance. Longest way, nearest target, and the most direct and efficient route possible. That is Jeet Kune Do.
Mm-hmm. Is it developing, according to your opinion, Jeet Kune Do for now?
What did you say? Sorry.
Is there some developing? Is it Jeet Kune Do develop today? I mean, in the future, or this is style which not develop from Bruce Lee, from his time?
Okay, right. Really, how's the best way to explain this? Like, 100 years ago, people drew a straight line. Today, people draw a straight line. And 100 years' time, people will still draw a straight line. That's it. So the thing that makes you better is how to draw the straight line straighter. So if you compare that with martial arts or Jeet Kune Do expressions of punching and kicks, timing, distance, coordination, flexibility, awareness, hand and eye coordination, the goal to make the straight lines better is the training drills. So the techniques remain the same, like a straight line. The thing is, we're always advancing the training drills and training methods to enhance the skill, to make the techniques better. Because in 100 years' time, that will still be a straight line. But how you get from point A to point B, a quicker way, a more deceptive way, this could improve through technology and training exercises that would enhance how to make this faster or more deceptive. So the techniques are the same, but the training methodology, that's the thing that keeps advancing.
Mm-hmm. Thank you. Could you tell please about your crash system military? Combat without weapons.
The crash?
Yeah.
The crash system, military unarmed combat, was based on what my father taught me. I took it and just tried to make it a lot better and simpler, because military personnel do not have the time to learn hundreds of techniques. So they have to have a system that they don't have to, how could you say, keep training. They just have to remember it. It's like tying your shoelaces. Okay, you learn how to tie your shoelaces, and then that's it. Every day you tie your shoelaces. So the crash system is based on a few techniques that's really quite instinctive, and you become, how could you say, that you never forget it. That's probably the best way. It doesn't take a lot of training. All you have to do is remember. That's it. So it's got some JKD elements in it, but not so much techniques, but principle or the philosophy behind it is really just simplicity. That's it.
Mm-hmm. I see. And also I saw your book, The Sweet Science of Boxing. Yeah. What about this book, and how is it different from thousands of books of boxing? What is the main difference?
It's really just I drew two handbooks, and I wanted just to illustrate some basic boxing techniques. some basic boxing theory and some training methods that maybe have been forgotten, because boxing seems to have, how can you say it, some of the training methods that use in boxing are quite modern, but they're not necessarily as effective as old training methods. Sometimes I think old training methods are more thought out, and they seem to get better results, and they're just a lot more sound than some of the modern ways that people train.
Mm-hmm. Let me ask you, what is your favorite boxers?
Favorite boxers? Well, I would say, well, Jack Dempsey. I would say Muhammad Ali. I would say Floyd Patterson, Roberto Duran. You know, Sugar Ray Leonard. Some of these people, I would say, these are the guys. And also Mike Tyson. These guys really stand out. I think there's no two ways about it.
And who is your favorite boxing coach, boxing trainer?
Well, I would say that really Custamato was really a clever guy. So I think he was very well skilled in old style boxing. Plus, he was a friend of Jack Dempsey's, and Bruce was heavily influenced by Jack Dempsey in Jack Dempsey's book. And the late Jesse Glover gave me a copy of Jack Dempsey's book about maybe 20 years ago or something. So, and that book is one of the books that Bruce drew heavily from, was Jack Dempsey's book.